Welcome to another episode of South Asian Web TV program. South Asian Web TV is produced by Global Media in partnership with TorontoTv. The program is available on southasian.tv and torontotv.org. There is also a link on southasianoutlook.com and indocanadaoutlook.com to this program. Your host is Suresh Jora. Our guest today is Mr. Jey Dharmaraj, Statistical Officer, Central Region, and he is in charge of the Communication Department for Statistics Canada. Welcome to the show, Jey.
Thank you very much, Suresh, for having me. It's indeed a pleasure to be a part of this program, and I'm looking forward to this evening where I can share a little bit about what Statistics Canada does and how it benefits the community.
Can you tell our viewers something about what Statistics Canada really is?
Sure. Statistics Canada produces statistics that help Canadians better understand their culture, their country, its population, resources, the economy, society. And we do a number of studies. One important study is the census, which is done every 5 years. And then we have the labor force, which I'll talk about a little bit later. We have the Canadian Community Health Survey. We have Business and Agricultural Surveys, and the CPI, which deals with inflation and the economy.
This is all based on the survey plus the economic conditions, or?
It is based on research and studies that are done on an ongoing basis, and that's what I'd like to share a little bit with you and your audience today.
What's the history and background of Statistics Canada?
Now, for the history, Suresh, I'd like to walk you through the website, and the address is www.statcan.ca. Now, if you look with me in the home page, we have a little bit on the left. If you look at this section, you have the daily, which is a summary of a recent study, something that is very current. Then we have finding statistics, where we have information on different studies that we might have undertaken in the past. Now, before we go any further, I want to navigate you through the site map.
Right.
Now, if you look with me, Suresh, we have statistics and studies, which talks about the daily, which is something very current.
That's like the daily news?
Right.
Okay.
So any study that is recently completed, the highlights you'd find in the daily. So if you are looking for current and regular information, you would check the daily first. Then if you're doing other type of research, there's statistics by subject. Then you have some tables, community profiles, census, which is the census that we do once every 5 years, and other information on surveys. Then if you look at the second column, we have services and understanding statistics, where we have information that might help community leaders if they're looking at making a proposal or putting together some information. Then for schools and research students, there's a lot of information. Then we have the special interest section, which is where you have learning resources, and the media room, which is another area which will allow you to research and dig for any relevant information.
That will be as a media person or as anybody?
Right. Generally, as a media person, we've tried to put together some information. And since you asked, let me just take you there. We have information on the daily, and we have other studies that are put out. Then on the right, if you see this, you have information on the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index. Then some highlights about trades and some interesting statistics. Recently we did some media advisories on income tax statistics and spring, and so it's a little section which is of particular relevance to media people.
The spotlight changes or does it remain the same?
It changes from
Could
time
be any,
to time.
like time to time, not on a daily basis.
Not on a daily basis,
I see.
depending on the subject. And then we have the help section, and of course search section, where you can look at other sites or other studies that might have been done in the past.
Can you tell us something about the census and the surveys that have been done based on that?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. Now, the last census was done in 2006, and it's done every 5 years. The next one is coming up in 2011. And because it's such a huge survey and it covers all the Canadian population, we release information on a periodic basis. And I want to show you this calendar. It's a little bookmark which was made, where the first release was on March 13th of last year.
Maybe we can show it to the viewers also.
Sure. Where we talked about population and dwelling counts.
Right.
Then the second major release was in July, where we talked about information based on age and sex of the people. Then the fall of last year, September 12th, 2007, we released information on marital status, common law status, families, households, housing and dwelling characteristics. And then recently in December the 4th of last year, there was another major release on language, immigration, citizenship, mobility and migration.
So virtually it takes more than a year and goes into the second year after the census for the studies to be completed.
Right.
Like you have here the last study, it seems coming up on May 1, 2008 on income, earnings and shelter costs.
Right.
Is that the total number of studies shown here?
That is the final release for the census that was done in 2006.
I see.
And some of the releases for this year would be the Aboriginal people's release that was done on the 15th of January. Then we had the labor market activity, which talked about the industry, occupation, education, language of work, place of work and mode of transportation.
So March is a busy month for you.
Really.
Almost 7 surveys I think you have there.
Different
releases,
parts, right. And then the next one is coming up on the 2nd of April, which is 2008, ethnic origin and visible minorities. And then the final one on May 1st, which talks about income, earnings and shelter costs.
I see. That's very interesting, it seems. Now, how exactly you think these studies help the common man? Or what is the purpose behind these studies?
Sure, absolutely. And again, I'd like to have the opportunity of taking you through our website. And there's a little section which says
what we do.
And Statistics Canada basically produce statistics, like I mentioned in the past. And in Canada, providing statistics is a federal responsibility. So as Canada's central statistical agency, Statistics Canada is legislated to serve the function for the whole of Canada and each of the provinces. So objective statistical information is really vital for any type of planning, decision making, business planning, proposals, where programs are to be developed. And therefore, our studies and the census really help all facets of life. And we see from this, there are about 350 active surveys on virtually all aspects of Canadian life.
I see. That's interesting. And what happens if there is a request to be interviewed? How does it work?
Now, from time to time, we have to go to the community and the people to ask for information. And therefore, people are picked at random. And most of it is a responsibility as a member of Canadian society to participate in these surveys. And the first thing I'd like to focus on is that there is no reason to be concerned because everything is kept confidential. And going back to the privacy area, Statistics Canada is committed to providing and respecting the privacy of individuals.
Right.
Whether you are a respondent to one of our surveys or clients who are purchasing the information, everything is kept totally private and confidential. And all the information is collected, and then total results are shown. And so information cannot really be traced to any one individual or one organization.
Now the surveys are done like you outsource these, or?
No, these are all done internally. We do have interviewers, some of them by phone, some of them actually go door to door and collect information.
If they give me a call, how would they introduce themselves?
They would introduce themselves as an interviewer for Statistics Canada. They'd also talk about the survey. And there's also a number that you can call in case you'd like to check the authenticity of the person.
Whether it is a genuine person or not a genuine person.
Absolutely. And I want to show you a Q&A that we have developed. And if you'll just bear with me here.
Like the question answer part of it?
Right. There were some concerns that the members of the community had, and
like sometimes I get a call to say, okay, can you spare 15 minutes or something, and I have a survey.
Right.
But the most of the calls that I've received so far, they don't mention Statistics Canada. They talk about some company or something.
Okay, then it could be some other type of study. When any of our studies are undertaken, the interviewers identify themselves by name and also by that they are from Statistics Canada or calling on behalf of Statistics Canada.
And do they at any stage record these conversations, or they are not recorded?
No, they are not recorded. They note down the information.
I see.
Right.
So you wanted to say something about the question and answer
Right.
part of it?
Let me just while we are searching for this, what sets us apart? I just want to talk a little bit about this.
Apart from the other organizations?
Right. Our technical assistance program helps developing countries establish solid statistical systems, and the United Nations and European agencies have adopted many of our models and methods as the standard for information development across borders.
I see.
And recognition of this world-class quality of our statistics marked the beginning of the 1990s for Statistics Canada, and it continues into the new millennium, building in that trend. And let me just...
When was the first survey done?
Okay, now that I believe maybe I should take you to our flash presentation at this stage.
Yeah, sure.
And take a look. This really answers a lot of your questions, and I'd be happy to take any other questions you might have.
Let's see the presentation first.
Okay.
On a daily basis, you will hear, see, or read Statistics Canada reports on the state of our economy and our social fabric. Statistics on health, literacy, and crime make front-page news as we help monitor the tremendous changes happening in our country. All our programs begin with an information need, like childcare requirements, the social and economic implications of an aging population, or the competitiveness of Canadian industries. By keeping in touch with our clients and stakeholders, we ensure programs are relevant to emerging information needs. In fact, Statistics Canada works in partnership with all sectors of government, the economy, and society to identify and fulfill the information requirements of today and tomorrow. The information produced by Statistics Canada is encyclopedic, a literal A to Z of every aspect of Canadian life and economy. Statistics Canada's data collection include major themes such as agriculture, environment, health, manufacturing, prices, primary industries, social conditions, and travel and tourism. From these themes, we generate hundreds of publications and hundreds of thousands of data sets. Every 5 years, the census provides us with an updated national portrait. Our work life, family structure, ethnicity, and even our housing are redrawn to show what we look like today. Information from Statistics Canada influences everything from government policy, to the location of schools and corner stores, to the investment patterns of the financial sector. Behind the deceptively simple numbers in the evening newscast lies our state-of-the-art computing technology and expertise in survey methodology and statistical methods. While some of our information comes from existing administrative data, most is collected through businesses and household surveys. That makes our survey respondents our most valuable asset, and we make two fundamental commitments to them. First, to protect the confidentiality of information provided to us, and second, to find innovative ways to reduce the time spent completing the surveys. Survey results become reliable information. Statistics Canada is a world leader in developing innovative statistical methods. We are guided by the fundamental values of confidentiality, accuracy, objectivity, and timeliness, and we know that useful statistics must have no political bias. Delivery of the statistical results is the final but most vital stage of the statistical process to the end user. The information is held secret until its official release in our internet publication, The Daily. By the end of the day, the information is spreading to all Canadians through the media and via our regional office toll-free telephone lines. Our regional offices also respond to hundreds of thousands of requests for customized information not available through our published data. The internet allows for instant publication of statistical reports. These reports are also available in electronic format. CanSim2, our social and economic database, is accessible from our website and through private sector online computer services. Data packaged on diskette and CD-ROM are also made available for users wanting offline access to our data. Informing Canadians about the information we produce starts with the education system. Through a long-standing program of education outreach, Statistics Canada has been introducing statistical concepts to school-age children. In fact, our data is now a growing addition in the Canadian school curriculum. Like Canada, Statistics Canada actively participates in the global community. Our technical assistance program helps developing countries establish solid statistical systems. The United Nations and European agencies have adopted many of our models and methods as the standard for information development across borders. Recognition of the world-class quality of our statistics marked the beginning of the 1990s for Statistics Canada, and it continues into the new millennium. Building on that trend, we continue to meet Canada's changing information needs and the challenge of reporting the new trends emerging in Canadian society and economy. We are Statistics Canada.
That's very interesting, huh? It gives then everybody a clear view of what you do and
Right.
what is
Right.
done over the particular time of a survey and what follows that.
Right, right. And what I want to also show you, that how some of the how the respondents are picked.
Mhm.
It's totally random. And if somebody has any concern or is not able to participate, we are not able to find a substitute, because then it would not be random anymore.
Right.
So these are some of the questions that people normally ask. Do I have to participate in the survey?
Mhm.
Now, if you've been contacted for the census, the labor force survey, a business survey, or an agricultural survey, you have to participate, because these surveys are mandatory as per the Statistical Act.
What happens if they call me at a time when it's not convenient for me to answer? Can they call me back?
Sure, sure. That
I
is
see.
something you would mutually agree upon
Right.
in order to complete the survey. Right. And for other surveys, participation is voluntary. And another question which we get sometimes is, why should I answer these questions?
Mhm.
To ensure that we get the most complete result, in order to help in our planning, to help the community. It is very important that people selected answer the survey questions, and without your cooperation and the cooperation of the community, Statistics Canada could not produce reliable and vital data. And
So you can't sit back and say, okay, the government is not doing anything, because you, as a citizen, have not done what you're supposed to do.
right,
So this is the sort of input you require to be able to present something which can be used towards policy making.
absolutely, and that's how we give back to the community. The investment of time, maybe the sometimes having to sit and answer a few questions, is giving back to the community and helping them understand Canada, society, and also help, like you said, in program development. A lot of non-profit organizations use the studies to develop programs and initiatives. Different government organizations also use our information.
As some of our viewers are from South Asian community, what would you think over the years or since the last survey has happened to the visible minorities or the ethnic communities as they call them?
Sure. Let me take you through a highlight of the census presentation. I just want to close this section with you asked this previously, how do I know my information will remain confidential?
Yeah.
Statistics Canada takes your information very, very seriously. And under the Statistical Act, all information provided to Statistics Canada will be kept confidentially and used only for statistical purposes, nothing else.
Right.
Statistics Canada also cares about the privacy of its respondents. So if a respondent knows the interview and is uneasy about giving the information to that person, he or she can be interviewed by someone else. So you can call to change that. And how do I know? This was that number I was looking for.
You can call a certain number and
Right.
Okay, what's the number?
And the number is 1-800-263-1136. This is a toll-free general inquiries line. And the teletype machine line is 1-800-363-7629. And you can also check it out on our website under current surveys, and your survey will be listed
I see.
under current surveys.
That's interesting because people are concerned about what is being asked of them and they don't
Right.
want to give out the information like your income and how
Right.
many members and what is the age and all that stuff.
Right.
Because with the current identity theft and privacy theft that's going
Right.
on, there's a lot of fraud.
Absolutely.
People want to be certain that their information is not being picked up
Right.
by a hacker and being used
Right.
unprofessionally or for fraudulent purposes.
Yes, which is why again you have this number to call. You can check the website. And one final question that we get asked is, I participated in one survey, why are you getting me for another? This can happen because survey participants again are selected at random.
Right.
Sometimes the characteristics that are sought for the survey might overlap. So then In some instances, there might be a situation where a respondent is contacted again, but again, you have the resources to check us out, call the number, check us out on the website, and let me give you the number again. It's 1-800-263-1136.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And about the visible minorities and all that I just mentioned to you about?
Right. I want to again draw you back to the some slides that I brought. This is just some highlights, some tables that I wanted to illustrate. It shows that 1 in 5 were foreign born, and this is the highest proportion in the population in 75 years. So if you look with me in this graph, right from about 1951, there has been a steady growth. And if I can take you now to the second slide, the most recent immigrants have come from Asia, but its share was relatively unchanged. So if you look at the blue portion of this bar graph,
that's since 2001, right?
Right. This is 2006. This is for 2001. This is people from Asia, and the lighter blue is people from Africa,
right?
And this is the people from Europe, and this is Oceania, and this is the United States.
The number of people migrating or coming here from United States seems to have dropped since 1986.
Yes, that's
seems
what
to be
the
dropping
chart,
since that time. Yeah,
right,
that's what this shows.
The
yeah,
chart is showing. And let me take you to this. When we look at some major cities like Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Calgary, Ottawa, and other census metropolitan areas, Toronto has long since, for quite some time, been the major destination for recent immigrants. But some other urban centers like Calgary have increased their share.
Toronto seems to be the highest all along. There are 3 different
Right.
colors there. So what? 4 colors actually.
Yeah,
What do they
these are the
signify?
years. Yeah.
These are the years. I
Right,
see.
right.
So the last
And,
one that we
this
have
is
is
the most current.
2006.
Right. This is 2006.
I see. Does it show anything about their contribution, like what they earn in this society and all that?
No, that not yet.
Earnings
Again,
or income and something?
there is this other survey that I was the result of the census, which is the income and earnings and shelter costs.
That's in
That
May.
will be released in May.
I see.
So, folks, please look out for the release on the 1st of May. And then when we look at the world picture, this is an interesting slide, Suresh, which talks of Toronto and Vancouver compared to Miami, Los Angeles, Sydney, Melbourne, New York City, and Montreal. And you'll see that the percentage of foreign born is the highest in Toronto, which is 45.7% of the population.
Right.
And so you will see that Toronto is
The preferred destination.
the preferred destination for most of the immigrants. Right.
It seems Montreal gets, because of the language, maybe the lowest number.
I'm
Or the
not
percentage?
sure. Yeah, I can look into that and get back to you. But these are some highlights.
Anything else you would like to share on these latest slides with our viewers?
Yes, that it's important that they participate, and that's a way of contributing in a very tangible way. And of course, I would also encourage you and your viewers to call us for any type of information that is required. We have a media line which is 416-954-2646.
Okay.
And the media people can access or obtain some information, and if there's any other type of information, either for research or for studies, we have the website. And I want to show some of the studies that, if you can kindly pass me this.
This is the Economic Observer.
Right. And this primarily is also available online, but it talks of various economic indices. And for your viewers, I want to just show this. And some of the other studies.
We have this on labor and income perspectives.
Right.
Maybe
right.
you can put it up for the
Right. This is
viewers.
also available online, and I'll just read you some releases that we've sent to you. There was one. This was released in the spring of this year, but some of the studies that are available are the work stress and job performance,
Right.
returning to the job after childbirth, immigrants in the hinterlands or the outlying areas, dynamics of housing affordability, RSP investments, and earnings in the last decade. So you will see, Suresh, how exhaustive this information is, whether it's for community initiatives or for business initiatives. Any successful plan cannot be produced without accurate and timely information. So Statistics Canada tries to do that. And this is another study on immigrants. And I can show this to our viewers. And this talks about how immigrants are faring in some of the smaller municipalities and smaller cities. And one of the highlights was that while there is some difficulty in integrating into the labor market, those immigrants who are moving to the smaller towns are doing much better in terms of finding the occupation that they're looking for and earning a higher wage.
As compared to the big cities like Toronto, Vancouver,
Right,
Calgary. and
right,
all.
right.
I see. That's interesting. And here is one thing, another one you have about health reports.
Right. That is the Canadian Community Health Survey, which is another very big survey. And this has, I'll just read out some of the subjects. Life expectancy in the Inuit inhabited areas of Canada, and chronic pain in Canadian seniors, healthcare use among gay, lesbian, and bisexual Canadians, getting a second opinion on health, and some technical information which might help people in the medical field. This is also available online.
So depending on what is your interest, you can go on to your website.
Absolutely.
And they can specify what they're looking for, and they can log into that portion and check it out.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you. The survey is in 2011. How many years before that the questionnaire is done?
It's the planning process has already started. There's also a period of time when information is asked for, feedback is asked for from the community
About the questions
about
the
the questions, suggestions. So that planning process has just recently been completed, and now the questionnaires will be designed, and then preparations are in place for the big census.
I see. So if I have to see what the proposed questionnaire is before I give my feedback on that, or give my comments on that, where can one check it out?
You could again check it out on the internet.
Right.
And
is there any particular section we can look at that?
Unfortunately, right now, this is information on the census.
Right.
And census consultation is where you would go.
Right.
Given your ideas, but this was recently, the date was
It's already expired, you mean?
expired, yes.
Because I have why I'm concerned is because last survey there was a question about your ethnic background,
Right,
like which country you come from,
Right.
and there are various countries they mentioned there.
right,
But instead of mentioning India, they mentioned a particular language like Punjabi.
Okay.
Now, Punjabi is a language, it's not like ethnicity of anybody.
Right, right.
So I was a bit concerned as to how somebody put that on without checking with somebody who comes from that part of the community, whether it's a language or
Right.
whether it is an ethnicity.
Right. I would still send in your information,
Mhm.
and you can let us know, and we can have that forwarded to the planning section.
Okay, so I can check the website, email address on your website.
Sure. And this section, which is the 2011 Census Consultation Guide.
I see. Good. Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate you
welcome.
coming here and explaining to our viewers about the Statistics Canada, because it's an important arm of the Government of India, and it's important that people get involved in it and they know what's happening, so that
Right.
they can work on their future
Right.
through the agencies of the government which have the census reports and everything from Statistics Canada.
Thank you very much for having me,
You're
Suresh.
welcome.
It's really been a pleasure.
For our viewers, if you have any suggestions, any ideas about how we can improve our program, about our programs and about the electronic monthly publications, please feel free to write to us at, you can write to me directly at sjaura, sjaura, at globalhomemedia.com. Thank you very much, and we look forward to see you in the next episode.